You are listening to Book Clips, a mini podcast in which authors or narrators do readings from novels. Check out the show notes for the synopsis and buy links for this book.
Hi, I'm Kitty McIntosh, and I'll be doing a reading from my short novel, Kilbirnie, Scotland, The Night Dusty Played. It's the story of two young women in 1964 who tried to find a way to be together when same-sex relationships were a no-no. The fact that they're from different religious backgrounds doesn't help either. The story alternates from each character's point of view. Patty, 1964. Just 5 more minutes. I can't keep my eyes off the huge clock on the far wall of the factory floor. As soon as the hooter sounds, I'm off out of here. The weekend starts and I can leave the smell of fishing nets and the noise of the machines behind me for 2 whole days. Kathy Kirby is playing at the Walker Hall tomorrow night, so for once my mother won't complain. It's not easy being a part of the swinging 60s for a good Catholic girl. But she thinks the sun shines out of Kathy Kirby's arse. Although, if I hear Secret Love blasting from the record player one more time, I'll scream. I can't wait till the end of the summer when Dusty Springfield is due to play. The place will be packed. I'll need to drag Mags out early that night to be at the front of the ticket line. I love Dusty Springfield, so there's no way I'm missing that concert. The blast from the hooter pulls me out of my daydream, one that involves a beehive and panda eyes and the sultriest voice I've ever heard. Mags appears at my shoulder, pulling on her heavy green pea coat. Arm in arm we walk along the main street, passing the various departments of the co-op, and struggling without success to keep dry. We arrive at Etta's hair salon and are hit by a blast of hot air and hairspray. It seems like every girl in town has beaten us to it, as all the hair dryers are in use, 6 beehives drying off under the hoods. We take a seat and wait our turn, reading the latest gossip mags that have been left lying for customers to pass the time. I love this part of the week. By the time I leave here, I'll have the hairstyle that has to last me all week. I've got a headscarf in my bag to keep it from blowing out or getting wet on the way home. Then Mags and I will go to her place and do our nails, and we're all set for the weekend. Frankie. At last, 5 o'clock. I've been bent over this table for the past 2 hours and my shoulders are killing me. I sometimes wonder if getting a French polishing apprenticeship was such a good idea. I roll my shoulders and have a good stretch to try and get the kinks out. I can't wait to get home and have a long soak in the bath. I love a Friday night. Fish and chips from the chippy, reading a book in the bath, and an early night. Then it's hell for leather tomorrow. I've got the match in the afternoon, and then, if I get back in time, a night out at the Walker Hall in Kilbirnie. I'll get the 3rd degree once I get back from Mum. Have I met a fella? Why not? I know why not. But I'm not about to tell her yet. Maybe ever. She wouldn't understand. Patty. Open that door, I want to get ready. The dulcet tones of Sherry, my younger sister by 11 months, and unfortunately my roommate, reverberates throughout the house. With 6 other siblings, there was no way I was ever going to get peace to titivate myself. And I had been lucky enough there was enough hot water for a bath, a rarity. I'd managed to keep my hair well out of the water, thankfully, so now it was just my makeup to do, and I'd be off for a night of music and dancing. I'd asked Sherry to help with that. She might be annoying as hell, and with enough sass and attitude for 10 sisters, but she had a talent with makeup and dressmaking that I could never hope to achieve. She's already dolled up, her eyes caked in kohl, and wearing the teeniest mini dress I've ever seen. How on earth she's going to get past my mother with that on, I don't know. Come on, I don't have long. I'm meeting Terry for a drink before the Walker Hall. Yet another boyfriend. She seemed to have a new one every week. Me? I have tried, but to tell the truth, I don't know what all the fuss is about. Frankie. Looking in the mirror, I'm happy enough. I know I'm not feminine, and I've lost count of the times I've been mistaken for a boy while wearing my work overalls. I don't see the point in wearing a dress. I look ridiculous, and it just doesn't feel right. So, I've bought black pedal pushers. I can get away with that if Audrey Hepburn can. I'd rather wear a suit and tie like the Beatles, but I'd get lynched in this town dressing like that. The grandfather clock in the living room strikes 7. I've got 10 minutes to make it to the bus stop. Grabbing my handbag from the hook by the door, I sprint out and manage to make it just before the bus pulls out. There's not a spare seat to be had. Every young person in the Garnock Valley seems to be heading to the same place. The bus conductress cranks the handle of the ticket machine. 1 in 6, she says. I hand over the coins and rest against a pole, catching my breath, and hoping the run to the bus stop hasn't left me too sweaty and unkempt. Patty. Mags and I eventually get to the front of the queue. I've been staring at the flaking green paint on the ticket booth for the past half hour as we inch closer to the window. I was worried we'd be too late and wouldn't get in. Ticket stubs in hand, we make our way to the ladies' loos and stake a place in front of the mirrors. Our beehives have survived the journey into town. Makeup still plastered to our faces, caked on and unlikely to move. Sherry made a great job of my eyes, but the coal is making them itch like hell. Come on, I want near the front. Mags is in a hurry. She wants to be right at the stage. When there's fellas playing, she likes to give them the eye, and I know for a fact she had it off with one of the guitarists from a well-known band last month, naming no names. From the big hall I can hear the music starting. Like Mags, most of the girls rush to the front of the stage. The fellas hang back, trying to look cool, and not wanting to admit to liking Kathy Kirby. She's standing in the middle of the stage, a spotlight silhouetting her against the dark blue stage curtain. Her band are dressed in tight black suits, a contrast to the virginal white taffeta and silk dress she wears. As the first notes of Secret Love fill the room, the girls scream, drowning out the music. My mum wants a blow-by-blow account of the performance. I've been listening to her sing it all week, and I've had enough. I prefer the Doris Day version for some reason, more heartfelt. The heat of the room is getting to me, and I've had my toes trodden on 3 times already. I need to get out of the crowd and cool down. Mags has made it perfectly clear she's not moving, but if I don't move I'll pass out. I make my way to the back of the hall and find I'm not the only one finding it stifling. A girl who looks about my age is leaning against the wall, calm and apparently unfazed by the whole occasion. She's tall and fit-looking, wearing black trousers and a crisp white blouse turned up at the collar. Nothing like any of the other girls here. She looks straight at me, green eyes catching my attention. She doesn't look away, and it would normally be uncomfortable, but for some reason I'm mesmerised. The first song finishes, and the few seconds of silence compel me to say something. You feeling the heat too? Aye, it's a bit close in here, but I prefer to stand back anyway. The smell of cheap aftershave and Brill cream in that crowd is not appealing. I notice she has a local accent, but I can't remember seeing her here before. But people come from all over to these concerts. She could be from Glasgow or Ayr for all I know. I hold out my hand to her. I'm Patty. I'm here with my pal Mags, but she's up front and she's not for shifting. I doubt I'll see her for the rest of the night. Frankie, nice to meet you. She takes my hand and her grip is strong and confident. I look up and our eyes meet again, and this time I feel as if my stomach has been invaded by butterflies. What is that all about? Frankie. It's 11 o'clock already, and the band are packing up. The night has gone in so quickly. I've been talking to this girl for hours and I don't want it to end yet. I can't even remember much about the music. All I know is that I can't keep my eyes off her. Can she tell? I feel tingly all over and quite breathless. She seems oblivious, but what do I know? I've never felt anything remotely like this ever. I notice her looking over in the corner. Your pal seems to have found herself a lad, I say. Par for the course with Mags. Were you planning on walking home together? Yes, but it doesn't look like that'll be happening now. I'll be fine, it's only 10 minutes up the road. I can't let you do that, you don't know who's hanging about with a drink in them. And I'd found my excuse to be with her a little longer. You have been listening to me, Kitty McIntosh, doing a reading from my short novel, Kilbirnie, Scotland, The Night Dusty Played.
You have been listening to Book Clips. Check out the show notes for the synopsis and buy links for this book. If you are interested in showcasing your novel, then check out the show notes for more information.